This is the future. This is the year 1997.
So Turbo Kid is a pretty weird movie, but not in a bad way. It's actually incredible. I think it actually had something to do with the Kickstarter as well. Sorry for not doing all that research, but this is a hot take, and we just watched it, so the title of the show is hot.
Different, ambitious. If you like Sam Raimi, if you like 80s theme films or some of the old tropes from the 80s, you'll enjoy this.
So we went and saw this movie, and it took a minute to kind of understand what was going on.
There's definitely a lot of influence from people who were also influenced by things in the 80s.
I will admit that I have, let's say, a bit of a problem with some of these 80s pastiche movies, like Kung Fury.
You got a permit for those guns?
Get your permit right here.
If you love it, that's fine. It doesn't do much for me because it really treats the 80s as just a joke, and then it's like, look at all these things, this crazy setup, he ninja kicked a car. But Turbo Kid is very different. It needs to be said right at the top of this. The violence in this movie is so over the top
Gore, over the top language.
It takes the genre, and the genre of the movie is 80s post-apocalyptic adventure film / coming of age story. It's kind of all of those things wrapped into one.
Very simplistic story, but it still had a lot of layers to it.
But it tells a very real story. I think the rating of the film says rated R for being violent as f***. It is violent as f***. I cannot believe how much blood and guts. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what is Turbo Kid? Answer that question by just going to see it.
Who was your favorite character?
By far the best character in this movie, by far, is Apple.
The characters are really straightforward. You know exactly what you're getting, down to the masked, silent, henchmen, villains, and things like that. The over-the-top gore, it all works together in this beautiful symphony of unnecessary violence, unnecessary language. And as we talked about before, Apple.
My favorite character of 2015, period. The less said about her, the better, but
She could have been more like the real Turbo Rider.
But she could totally be Turbo Kid.
Suffice it to say, you will walk away from this adoring her. I can't wait to see how many people dress up as Apple for Halloween.
She's just charming and a delight, and really, I think, elevates the movie.
Okay, let's talk about the cinematography for a second, because obviously this was not a very high budget movie. It looks like $100 million, movie, but shot for $10 million.
If you're a fan of cinematography, or a cinematographer yourself, this is, imagine having a playground where you kind of get to shoot almost every shot you would want to.
It's shot in 235x1, like super widescreen, like Ben-Hur. And man, some of the shots in this movie are amazing, and there's a lot of really cool tracking shots and stuff.
There's all kinds of zoom takes, pan and zoom, lots of really cool tracking shots, just all kinds of fun stuff to do with the camera. They actually moved the camera around. Cinematography was really good.
And then just people explode. It's just violent as f***. So, would you recommend Turbo Kid to the Hot Takes audience? I branded it. We're a branded show now. Would you recommend? Because I'm curious.
I would. I think I would like to encourage more people to go out and see this movie or movies like it, because
the food just got here.
All right.
We'll be back to this in a moment.
We'll be back.
So, pretending that we weren't just interrupted for Thai food, would you recommend... Well, I already asked that. Just talk.
All right.
Who cares?
Yes, I would. I would recommend everybody who has an opportunity to go see this movie, go see this movie. Not just because it's fun. You know, people making these kinds of films deserve the support. Would you rather support this film or Transformers 27? Like, what do you?
Well, first of all, just ignoring Transformers forever. I sort of wanted to like put it out to the people because on my Facebook, Kung Fury was like everyone was like Kung Fury is the greatest movie of all time, and I like irony. It's cool. It's not my everything. You can like things at face value for the emotional context they give you. But I would be very curious, the people that are saying Kung Fury is like the greatest thing they've ever seen. I would love to hear their thoughts on this because it gets a lot of the same laughs by using the 80s pastiche, but it also tells a story which Kung Fury really didn't. I feel like I'm beating up on it a little bit. I'm sorry, but I just think it's the worst thing that ever happened. I'm sorry. It is. It is. That's a hot take. Blah!
I'll take the long way round. Oh, I'll find my own way down. Oh, as I should.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hot Takes. If you like the show, please subscribe to the channel. Like us, leave a comment. Definitely leave a comment if you can think of an idea of what we should do next. We were actually going to do The Martian this week, but we both decided that this was just more fun. I'm super glad we reviewed this to get some, because everybody saw The Martian. So I don't really think they're hurting for people to go see it. Whereas Turbo Kid, I don't think practically anyone has really seen, so definitely go check it out. The last episode of Movies of Mikey Proper or Prime or whatever you want to call it, it's about artificial intelligence, and you can click right there to check it out. Like that, comment on that, and we will see you next time.